able graduates, master's holders were teaming up there, pressing it to be recruited. Because just 50 people are needed. It punched on me straight and I said, something needs to be done. Well, my question, since you talked about creativity and motivation, it might not really go straight to your point because you are building us from the inside. Maybe it's supposed to be somebody else's inspiration, but let me also add here. Let me seek to get a little clarification in some aspects. See, when we talk about small and medium enterprises, which is the starting point for somebody who is probably a school leaver. By the way, I graduated, I read food science and technology, graduated in 1997, and I've been in private practice till this moment. As a matter of fact, I'm also into recruitment as a training at the training level. But you see, when we talk about setting up, I want to say, first of all, what are the benchmarks today for a small enterprise? One. And having looked at that, because I have a little idea about those kind of factors, so then I'll give you a real example. We gathered some youth in Lokoja and we're talking about how to start up a small food processing firm, maybe a bakery. And you will all know, with all of the creativity and motivation, money is a key factor. And we know that to set up a good bakery, a profitable bakery, it's going to run into settling hundreds of thousands or perhaps even millions. Now, approaching the microfinance bank, there will limit what you can get to a certain level. And then Nigeria talks about, thank God the Roma Bank person is here, talks about the SME funds with the banks. I think Bank PHP and some other banks are into that. There seems to be a lot of lip service to this. So, on a structural or community basis, what can be done to ensure that the creativity, the motivation of young people who are doing their best, forsaking all the lusters of good job to try and put something on the ground is very wasted by creating a community and a viral effort on the societal level to ensure that these people are not frustrated.
As I can, without getting into too many technical details. You have small and medium scale enterprises, you also have micro enterprises, okay? And I think there's a small problem of classification. Some people, when they speak of small and medium scale enterprises, what they are referring to is micro, they're actually speaking of micro enterprises, okay? And you have to decide what falls, who falls into which category and what falls into what category, okay? Microcredit institutions, for example, are founded to cater to for micro enterprises. People with small, in fact, the pioneer microcredit institution in this world, Grameen Bank, I believe they started with less than $20, okay? They were looking at market women, petty traders, those kinds of people, okay? People that needed very little capital requirements to take them from point A to B. The difference, it doesn't sound much, but it is much to the person receiving the loan. For a petty trader, a woman that is trading, for example, it could mean the difference between buying her products daily and buying them in bulk weekly or monthly, okay? Of course, you know that if you buy in bulk monthly, that obviously is a better business proposition. When there were 5 million people jobless, that was why Babangida's government founded it. This is 2009, there are 64 million people jobless. First of all, you need a mentality of wealth creation. And unfortunately, nobody can give it to you. This is not one of the things that government can give, because government cannot quite give values. Government cannot give you your values, okay? So that is why I dwelt on spelling out realities and saying that this is what is happening and we have to respond creatively and constructively to it. An aspect of responding creatively to this is that you also have to realize the limitations of government, okay? Government cannot do everything. I'm not even sure that government is in a condition to do the things that it wants to do. You live in Nigeria, so I'm sure you understand all that. If thinking creatively would mean doing something, for example, if you're here, you have a business idea, you may not be the only one that has the business idea. Team up with somebody or some group, form a group, pool resources, pool your, and when I say pool resources, I'm not just talking of money. By the time you come together as a group, you are not just pulling financial resources, you are pulling relational resources as well. I'm telling you practicality because the likelihood in many instances of getting a bank loan are quite slim. Remember, there are many people like you looking for the same thing. So your edge is how you respond, how creative you can be in responding to this. Okay? There are many platforms upon which, even at the level of what do they call this, thrift associations. Okay? It was similar difficulties that inspired thrift associations. So we have to respond creatively to this. Another thing is that if you have dreams of starting your own business, I'm careful saying this because a lot of things vary from person to person and you have to act according to your own conviction. But one of the things that kills aspiring entrepreneurs is they want to be chairman, MD, CEO from the get-go. Do you understand? And that will not, you want to control everything. That will not work. Okay? It may not work. You should be prepared to see a certain portion of your company or whatever it is you are setting up in return for capital contribution or capital investment. Okay, you have to broaden your horizons. There is nobody that will give you stuff for free. That's what you need to. So this idea that if you come to somebody and say you have this fantastic idea, you will admire the idea so much that you will just dash money to start it. It's not really valid. You have to be prepared to negotiate. Okay, so there are various things you can do. Team up, negotiate. You know, and lastly, let me say this. I don't want to sound too spooky or too mystical, okay? But honestly, as an entrepreneur, launching out on your own, like you said, rejecting the luster of jobs. I agree with that, except that the jobs aren't even available anymore, okay? What you have to understand is this. The moment you set your course, your eyes, your vision on one singular goal for your life, and commit spirit, soul, and body to that thing, life has a way of providing you with a range of options that you did not know existed before. For some of us, listen, you cannot be double-minded about certain decisions. You must burn your bridges. When you burn your bridges and you tell yourself there's no option, this is the only thing. Look, there's a story in history when Caesar's armies were invading a particular land. When they landed on that island, Caesar ordered the soldiers to burn their ships. Settle on that. Life has a strange way of answering your prayers, of opening up all doors for you. So like I said, I don't want to get too much into detail, but please just accept this as a broad picture. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Rosalyn Francis. My question goes like this. As a young graduate, maybe you have a talent, maybe for education, and you've been going to an organization or various organizations just to see if during the period where decoration and all those stuff take place, you can actually fit in one way or the other. But at the end of the day, even if you submit your proposal, you find out that maybe the branch managers or people at the top will give this thing to their wife, sister, or such like that. So my question goes like this: how can we actually cross this bridge?
I said about persistence. You keep submitting. Excuse me, Rosalie, look. I said there are 64 million jobless people.